Woo! I bet you thought you'd never see my face again. You're all probably like, this girl promised us a giveaway and then she up and disappears for 20 days. But I promise I had a pretty good excuse, maybe, but more on that later, so whatever. Now let's get into the video. Can you tell what this video is about based on what I'm wearing or the title? Probably the title, but I am talking about the BH Cosmetics Diamond Palette. See, I tried to dress like a diamond. Did it work? I think so. And for those of you who do not know, every single month, BH Cosmetics has been coming out with an eyeshadow palette that corresponds with that month's birthstone. So we've already seen Garnet, Amethyst, Aquamarine, and Diamond, yes. And next month, we will be seeing Emerald palette. So I was super excited for the Diamond palette, mainly because I was like, what are they gonna do? I can't think of like a good color story. And I thought, well, maybe they could do like some whites or silvers, whatever. And I have to say, when I saw the palette that they came up with, I was pleasantly surprised. I was like, yes, that is good. I like. And the inside, it just looks like this. So you have your black, you have some silvers, you have like this white sort of beige shade right here. It's like an off-white color. It's not a true white. And then you have like a glimmery whitish color. Then you kind of have like some two random colors right here that, you know, you wouldn't really associate with a diamond. But I think they did that purposely to give you some transition shades, which that's always nice. Now I have to be honest, I'm not really feeling this brown shade right here, but I get why they put it in the palette, so it makes sense. I am more kind of about this like salmon pink color. So overall, I'm pretty pleased with this palette. And by the way, I reviewed all those other palettes, so I will leave the playlist up in the card somewhere, so go check it out. So this palette is a little bit different than the past 3 months, and that is because this month you only get 3 matte shades as opposed to the previous months where you received 4 matte shades. Maybe they did that on purpose because it's like a diamond palette, so it's supposed to be all about like that shiny bling bling. So you get 3 matte shades, like I said. You get 3 kind of like shimmer metallics, and then you get this 1 pressed glitter shade, which they've been doing in all of their palettes, 1 pressed glitter. And as always, you get this 1 giant pan that has the name of the birthstone, and then you get the characteristics. So let's read them off. So if you were born in the month of April, you are neutral. It's a weird trait, but okay. You're stunning. I mean, yeah, your birthstone's a diamond. You're fearless. By the way, if you haven't already, go stream Taylor's version of Fearless. Anyways, bling, that's not a personality trait, but okay. Lover, by the way, also stream Lover by Taylor Swift. Suave and Diamond. Like literally these are just all Taylor Swift album names. Just kidding. Alright, like the other palettes, this retails for $9. And I really like how it has this like shiny metallic packaging to it. The other ones did not have that, so really going with that diamond theme here. So I'm gonna pull you in and we're just gonna go play around with this palette. So yes, come closer, children, come closer. Okay, by the way, my sister's Pomeranian is staying with me for this week. So if you hear like a soft whimpering sound, that is the Pomeranian because he wants to be home. So, all right. I'm just going to take this, what a clever little name. So I'm just going to take this very neutral color in the shade name Neutral and just put that all over my eyelid. By the way, I was thinking about BH Cosmetics today and I was like, I have to hand it to them. They've been around for a few years, and to have a 7 shade eyeshadow palette and only have it be $9, like, And the quality is pretty decent for the other ones at least. I thought that was pretty impressive. I mean, you see the, oh no. Okay, so it's a little powdery, but luckily it's in the inner corner. So we can use a little brightness on the inner corner. But you see like drugstore palettes, their price be creeping up there. You see even ColourPop, whose slogan used to be beauty that doesn't break the bank, and now they like launch like several times a week and their prices are getting higher. So their beauty is slowly breaking the bank. BH Cosmetics, like I feel like they've stayed pretty consistent. And their formula is pretty good too. Like I feel like they have a decent formula. It's not the best in the world, but honestly, I think it's pretty good. Like the only complaint I ever really had about BH Cosmetics was that their eyeshadows tend to fade and crease pretty quickly. Sometimes even with eyeshadow primer, but I feel like, so that's kind of why I stepped back from them for a few years. But I feel like as of lately, like I haven't really been having that problem. Okay, so even though the shade is an off-white, it still shows up very, very much, bam, opaque white on your lid. So this is actually going to double as my highlight shade as well. So that's why I just put it all the way up to the brow bone. All the way up. So next in my crease, I'm going to take Lover. So we'll see how this works. This is like an interesting shade to put in here, but I don't know. Give ourselves a little bit of that like salmon pop. So, ooh, yes, I do like this pigmentation. Okay, it's a soft pink, but it works. I don't want that's crazy out there. So, while I have you, I thought now would be the good time. Gosh, I can't multitask. So, while I have you, I figured now would be a good time to explain why I've been gone for like almost a month. So, it's kind of actually, it's not like a crazy story, but it's kind of like crazy if you think about it. Okay, anyways, I'll just tell you. So when I was younger, I was always someone that like, you know, really used my imagination. I would always like pretend I was like these different people and create little stories in my head, whatever. Then obviously as I go older, I grew out of it. And I've always liked reading, I've always liked writing, whatever. So I just always had fun, you know, like creating stories, whether it was in my head or like on paper, whatever. So the thing about writing is I would like sit down and be like, ooh, I have this good idea. Like, let me like write a book. I'd get like 5 pages into it and then I'd just be done. So I was like, okay, so clearly I just don't have that like kind of discipline to sit down and like just write a book. So I didn't, and that was fine. That was well and good. Oh gosh, this shade has a little bit of fallout. So one day, it was the Thursday before Easter. Well, technically it was Wednesday. So I had a dream Wednesday night, and it was like, I don't know, it was just like your average, whatever, run-of-the-mill dream. But it was an idea that I couldn't get out of my head, and I kept thinking about it like throughout the entire day. And I was like, I don't know why this storyline just like really appeals to me. This dream really like, I could just envision a whole story from it. So come Thursday, I decided to write out like the most interesting part of the story. Like, I think I got 8 pages that I just banged out. And then I was like, you know what? I'm not done with this. So I was not done with it. I continued to write and write and write. Ideas kept forming, you know, outlines were created, whatever, that whole process. So before I knew it, I was on my way to a full-fledged book, and I decided just to keep going. I wanted to keep going, so I did it. And you know, you can actually, I don't know if you know this, but you can actually self-publish on Amazon, which I haven't done yet because I only just wrote the first draft. So, you know, like, there's some editing to do. But it felt so good just getting like 160 pages, that first draft, like out on paper. I've never done that before, never had the discipline. So I wanted to keep going with it. And I was just like, so in love with the writing process. I just like would go home in my spare time and just like write until it was time to go to bed. Like Saturday, I just write for hours. So it was really, I don't know, it was like really fun for me. Yeah, YouTube kind of got pushed to the back burner. Okay, let's move on. There's more to the story, but I don't want to just keep babbling. All right, next I am going to take, I am going to take Fearless, and I'm going to put that in the outer corner. Ooh, so it's a very, even though it's a sparkly black color, I have doubts that the sparkles will show up. Oh, actually, no, they're actually showing up pretty good. Wow. Holy smokes. This is like, that black is not playing around. Okay, I have to be really careful about this. Okay, this shade does have some fallout. I'm trying to like concentrate. I'm trying to like put the blackest part on the outer and then like get it a little bit softer as I go in. Like kind of get like a sort of gradient effect going. Okay, so we clearly need to blend that. So, oh Jesus. But I do have some fallout. Okay. So the shade's a little bit patchy. How do I explain this? Like you either have to really pack the shade in, like there's no light-handedness with the shade, because when you go light-handed, it turns out patchy. But if you like really pack it in like I did on the lower lid, it comes out pretty good. Okay. Ooh, that has some fallout, so we're gonna have to take care of that. Okay, so that black shade was a little bit hard to blend, but I managed. Mostly. I think it's just because it's black, so you know, it's like kind of hard to tone it down a little bit, you know. By the way, a little tip, because sometimes I could sit there blending and it's like, ugh, still doesn't look blended. I find that if I go in with my highlight shade and I just like really kind of buff it into like the colors that I have going on in my crease, outer corner, like it helps blend it out. And then sometimes I even just go back in to that crease shade and just like vibrant it back up a little bit, because sometimes it gets a little bit lost in the shuffle. Anyways, so that's just a little tip. So that is what I did off camera. But now back to my story. So I mean, that was it about the writing portion. I don't know, it kind of just got me thinking a little bit about YouTube in general. So YouTube's well and good and everything, but I mean, let's face it, like eventually I'm sure something else will come along. I mean, look at MySpace. We probably all thought MySpace was never going to die out, and then Facebook came along and it died out, and now even Facebook's kind of like not as popular as it once was. So I'm sure there's going to eventually be something that will trump YouTube and kind of like make it die out. So that's one reason why it's not realistic to be like, I'm going to upload YouTube videos forever. I mean, sure, you can go to the next social media site, whatever. But another reason kind of is, you know, I'm getting older. Do I see myself making YouTube videos in like my 50s, my 60s? Probably not. I mean, I could. That would be interesting. But most likely, no. I'm probably not going to still be like talking about makeup and fashion when I'm 60 years old. And, you know, like, there's just so many factors that play into it. And right now, I feel like YouTube is kind of like my number one hobby, my number one passion. It was just something that, you know, like I can throw myself into, and it takes up a lot of my time. But I always kind of wonder to myself, I'm like, what would I do with my alone time if I didn't have YouTube? What would I do? Like, I can't really think of anything, you know? So I just kind of thought, I was like, well, you know, writing, I enjoyed that so much. Like, that was pretty fun for me. Like, I didn't dread doing it. Like, it was definitely a passion. Like, once I got myself going, like once I had these ideas floating around in my brain, I said that weird. And I even have an idea for a book too that I want to start eventually. So I kind of figured, I was like, you know, that's a pretty decent like second hobby to have. and something that I can see myself doing when I'm old and gray. And as long as my mind still works, you know, whatever. So I don't know. I don't know why I felt the need to tell you all of that, but I did. So yeah, you probably clicked out of the video, but whatever. Thank you if you haven't. That was like a really long-winded story. I'm sorry. So I'm going to take Diamond now, and I'm just going to place it on the lid. Now, I've been pretty pleased with their shimmery shades. So let's hope Diamond holds true to that. Okay. I mean, it's a little lackluster, but let's see what it looks like wet. Oh god, I just sprayed my hand instead of the brush. I mean, it's still a pretty shade. I mean, it's like a silvery shade. Like, how opaque does one expect it to be, you know? It's not like it's a shimmery blue shade or a shimmery purple shade. It's a shimmery silver shade. Okay. I mean, that's not bad. It doesn't like wow me, but it's decent enough. Okay, not bad. I mean, I do, honestly, I do like a good smoky eye with like some nice gray, a little bit of silver and black. Woo, alright, so that glittery shade definitely has some fallout to it. So does the black one. So you're definitely looking at some fallout for this palette. I have to be honest, I do like the color story from this one. I do. But this probably isn't my favorite palette out of the bunch. I probably have to say either the Garnet or the Aquamarine one was so far the best. So just keep that in mind if you're looking to pick up one of those palettes. And now I'm just going to take Stunnin', which is this straight up silver shade. And I'm going to just put that in the lower lash line. That's really pretty. I feel like this would be like a fun New Year's Eve palette. By the way, careful with that shade because those glitter specks do fly. And I definitely got some in my eye. Okay. That's a little scary. Alright, what do you think? Should I put some bling bling on my eyelid? Y'all should know by now how I feel about these BH Cosmetics glitters, but let's do this. This one can't hurt that much, right? Can you see it? It's definitely there. I can see it on my lid, but I don't know if it just blends in with that diamond shade I have on my lid, so you might not be able to see it like super well on camera. Claw hand. Ooh, yes. There we go. Ooh. Should be able to see it now, I think. That's actually really pretty. Actually, I think I might like that shade. Even though it doesn't want to blend out, I think I like it. I think I like it. Alright, I'm going to clean up some of this fallout. And I will give you my final thoughts. Okay. There you have the final look. I actually really like this look. Like, I am all about a good glittery, smoky eye. And I think this does the trick. So, let's talk my thoughts here. So, I definitely really like this look. This, for sure, is not your everyday wearable look. This is like an evening going out look, New Year's Eve look. Something that's glitzy and glam, but it's beautiful and it goes so nicely with this outfit. Anyways, sorry, can you hear the Pomeranian? Anyways, so I do like this palette. I take it back. It got a little bit rocky for a second there, but I think once I added that glitter and just kind of like cleaned up the fallout, added a little bit to my under eye, I think it pulled itself together pretty nicely. And even this pink shade surprisingly worked well with the other colors. I can't speak on this one because I didn't use it, but I approve. For $9, why not? But only if you're into like a smoky eye kind of look, because if you're not into smoky eye look, then I don't think you can really do too much with this palette. So I think that's all I really have to say about this palette. Like, I liked it. It was cute. I liked it. It was pretty. I like the other ones too. So maybe I want to redo my order. Maybe I like this one a little bit more than I originally thought. Alright, there you have it. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe and see ya. Whoa, Jesus. See ya soon. Bye.